Hello world and welcome back to another episode of Botania, where today we're finally going to be showing you how to progress inside the mod. Starting off, we're going to need to know how to make Terrasteel. Now Terrasteel is first going to need one of these, a Terrasteel Armour plate. One of these plates. This plate is going to require 3 pieces of lapis lazuli blocks, 1 block of mana steel, a water rune, earth rune, fire rune, air rune, and a mana rune. And all these runes must be in this configuration. This will give you your plate. Now, in order for the plate to work, you're first going to need a checkerboard pattern of both living rock and lapis lazuli. And now underneath here in the center, we will have our plate on top of this living rock, and we'll place it like this. Now, what you have to do in order to actually send power or mana to this plate, you're going to need some sparks. Now, we covered sparks a little bit before. We're going to put the spark on top of our mana pool and then put the spark on top of here. And now these are going to be linked. To check, just simply right click on one of your sparks and it's going to just send it across. So this spark is now linked to this plate. In order to make Terrasteel, you're going to need all 3 of these items here, and you just need to place them on the ground here. Just throw them on the ground and you'll know it's working when the blue starts happening. But if you're not quick enough, then you will actually pick them all back up and you'll lose everything. So in order to actually do this, you will actually use up half of a full mana pool in order to make just 1 Terrasteel. Now the actual craft doesn't take too long, but it is going to use a heck of a lot of mana. Now if you pick up any of these items while it's happening, all mana that has been put into this will be lost. So definitely do not pick it up at any point, otherwise you will lose quite a lot of mana. And there we go, we now have our first piece of Terrasteel. Terrasteel is actually going to unlock quite a lot of things inside of here. It's going to unlock a whole new page of different things, all new tools that we can do, and that is what we're going to go through next. One of the first things I think we should actually make is the mana mirror. The mana mirror is made of 1 Terrasteel ingot, a mana tablet, a living wood twig, a mana pearl, and a living wood rock. Now when you make one of these, this is essentially going to be an upgrade of a mana tablet. Now the mana tablet you would usually dump into a mana pool, and then you would be able to have X amount of mana inside the tablet, and that will fuel all of your items inside your inventory. Now the mana mirror works a little bit differently. Instead of you having to have this tablet, what you can do is link a mana pool, and then your mana mirror will replicate how much mana is in that pool. So if you have at your base this mana pool in a certain location, you can just have that constantly gaining mana, and you can be off doing whatever you want with this sort of thing. Now I'm not too sure whether this needs to be chunk loaded at all times for it to actually work, but I believe you have quite a range with this. Next up we have Terrasteel Armour. This is going to be an upgrade for your mana steel. Mana steel armor is about the iron level, but Terrasteel is going to be your diamond level. They're all 4 of these are made in the exact same way. You have your previous item inside the center, 3 pieces of Terrasteel and 2 twigs at the top, but for each piece you will have a different rune. For the helmet you've got spring, for the chest piece you have summer, for the mana leggings you've got autumn, and for the boots you have winter. Now when you actually wear this, you look pretty cool, not gonna lie. You look a little bit like a bug, to be honest. But you're very, very powerful. As if you look at the stats of this, you get a lot of armor protection, some knockback resistance, and also toughness. Next up, we have some tools. First off being the Rod of Terra Firma. This is an upgrade to the Rod of Lands, which we've covered in a previous episode, and this is going to require a spring, summer, autumn, and winter rune, 1 piece of Terrasteel ingot in this corner, and a pasture root. Now this is going to use mana that is inside of your inventory, so this is where you're going to need your mana mirror here, or mana tablet. And what this is going to do is actually start moving mountains. It's going to either raise land up to your level, or it's going to break land down to your level. Now this only works above sea level, meaning above level 64. But if we just go over here now, and then if we hold right click, we can see that land is starting to be flattened into our area. Now this is just creating dirt completely out of nowhere. So it's free dirt creation. However, if you were to do it on a lower level and say start taking out this mountain, when all these blocks start getting removed, you will not be able to reclaim them. These are going to be items that are going to be completely removed forever. They don't drop on the ground, they are being deleted from the game. As you can see, they work in a very large area. Next up we have a Botania favourite, and that is the Terra Shatterer. This is made using 4 pieces of Terrasteel ingot, 2 living wood twigs, and a mana tablet. Now the Terrasteel ingot by itself has not too many interesting things. It works at about the same level as diamond, similar with the armor, but if you go into your inventory, you can see that you've got a rank here and a little bar at the top that says D to C. Essentially, this Terra Shatterer is going to become more and more powerful the more mana you actually provide inside of it. Now, when you actually put mana into it, there's no way of actually taking it out of it. So you can't use the Terra Shatterer to power any other mana using items inside of your inventory. But if we go into a survival here, and then we go over to this wall where we've just broken this, we can see that this is going to break reasonably fast. It's going to be about the diamond level, as I say. Now, by itself, you probably read that the Terra Shatterer actually has certain abilities. Now, rank D, which is what I have here, doesn't actually have any abilities. So we need to upgrade this to rank C. But how do we do this? We simply have to place your Terra Shatterer in a mana pool. Now you have to make sure that it is going into an item. You can't have it going around the other way from the Shatterer to the pool. So you want it going into your little icon there. Now if you place this down inside of here, it will start actually absorbing some mana from the mana pool. Now it won't take long, just a couple of seconds, and you can see that we've now gone from rank D to rank C. Now all the ranks go from D up to SS, that is D, C, B, A, S, and then SS. And the way you actually get up each rank is by leaving the Terra Shatterer in the pool for longer, but for each rank, you're going to need exponentially more mana each time. But now we're in rank C. Now, when you just mine normally, it's not a lot of difference. However, if you right-click now, you'll hear a little noise, and now this has been activated. We can now mine in a 1x3 line, as you can see here. Now, at the top here, that little glowing rainbow bar, that's essentially how much mana is going to be inside of this. Now, whenever this is activated, but not actually mining, this is slowly going to be actually removing mana. So you want to be constantly mining when actually in this state, if you will. Now, to save me time, I'm not going to leave this in a mana pool. We are going to get the other ranks you see here. So we've done C. Let's get B, A, S, and SS, respectively. So, the exact same thing. All of them are going to mine at the exact same sort of speed. However, they all have different abilities. So if we now, let's make up a bigger hole. If we activate, let's see, rank B, activate that, we can now mine in a 3x3 area. If we go to rank A, it's a little bit bigger. It's a 5x5 area. Let's get some lights up in here. If we go for S level, it's going to be even wider. This is 7x7, and then double S is going to be a 9x9 area, and we've actually completely gone through the mountain now, but as you can see, it gets quite a lot wider. Moving on, next we have the Terra Truncator. This is made using 4 pieces of Terrasteel ingot, 1 glowstone, and 2 living wood twigs. Now this is going to be similar to the Terra Shatterer, however it doesn't have multiple ranks, but it is a sort of AoE effect sort of thing. With this, you'll be able to take down a whole tree and all its leaves. Now if any leaves are connecting, it will actually go along to the next tree, as you see here, and it's going to take them all apart. However, if you hold down shift, you can just do 1 log at a time. Something that's pretty cool though, instead of you having to press shift on something like that, you can make something called the Stone of Temperance. The Stone of Temperance is made using any 4 pieces of stone and a rune of earth. Now when this is in your inventory by itself, it doesn't do anything, but when you activate it, it will start sucking up mana. Now what this is essentially a way of limiting your Terra Shatterer and Truncator to be working in a smaller sort of radius. So if you don't want to hold down shift when using this Truncator on a tree, you can activate the Stone of Temperance, and then it will just do 1 block at a time, as you see here. All you have to do is simply deactivate it again by right clicking, and it will start taking them. Now, similar with the Terra Shatterer, we know this obviously does a 9x9 area, but what we can do is turn on the Stone of Temperance, and then it can just do a 3x3 area. Sometimes you don't want to do the massive area, and you don't want to have every single level of Terra Shatterer to do your different areas. So this is just a way of making things a little bit easier on you with the Stone of Temperance. Moving on, next we have the Terra Blade. This is made with 2 Terra ingots and then 1 living wood twig. Now this is going to be working the exact same level as a diamond pickaxe. However, diamond sword rather, but when you left click on a full charge, you can see you have this beam of light. Now this beam of light is going to essentially be the same damage as a normal diamond melee attack, except obviously it's from range, so you always have to wait for the charge up. You can't just spam this, of course, but it's just a way of having a ranged sword, but obviously you can use it close up as well. Now something that's pretty powerful is the Thorn Chakram. This is made using 1 Terrasteel ingot and 8 vines. Now you actually get 2 of these per craft, and they can be stacked up to 6. Now the cool thing about these is this is going to be essentially a throwable weapon. If you throw it, you can see that it flies away and it can actually bounce off walls, which is pretty impressive. Now this is going to obviously attack mobs on a diamond sword level whenever it hits. So if you have loads of them, say loads of mobs to the side of you, you can actually bounce it left and right and hit them multiple times. Now as you can see, they are returning back to me. After about 3 seconds of bouncing it around, they will actually come back to you as if they are a boomerang. So if you have 6, you will always have 6, as they can pretty much fly through walls as well. So if I just have one, say, go into this area over here, eventually they will fly back to me. All of them are coming back from over there now, and then the other ones will come through the wall as you see there. Now surprisingly enough, that's everything that the Terrasteel ingot can actually give us. That's quite a big upgrade in progression in this mod. However, there is one last thing it can do, which is the Elven Portal. You've probably read about this before or seen it in other Botania Let's Plays, and this is going to be your next step into actually progressing inside of this mod. There's a couple of things we're going to need first, and that is going to be a Elven Gateway core. This is made with 6 living wood and 3 Terrasteel nuggets. Terrasteel nuggets are made in any way you would expect. Putting an ingot in your inventory will give you 9 nuggets. You're also going to need a Natura pylon. This is made using a mana pylon, 3 Terrasteel nuggets, and a Eye of Ender, and you're actually going to need 2 of these in order to activate our Elven Portal here. The last thing you're going to need is some glimmering living wood, which is just simply 1 piece of living wood and a glowstone, and this will give you 1 glimmering living wood. Now, in order to make the portal, you'll see it's made exactly like this. You'll need an Elven Gateway at the bottom here, which we've crafted already. Then everything is going to be living wood with 3 pieces of glimmering living wood on the side here. Now, there is a large range to this. In any 11 by 11 area, you need to have 2 full mana pools. They have to be full. That's just the way it is. And on top of them, directly on top of them, you're going to need your natural or natural, I don't know how you say that, Natura pylons. Now this is going to activate your portal here. Now to activate it, all you have to do is simply right click on your Elven Gateway core, and the mana pylons here, or the Natura pylons, will start sending mana to this gateway. Now this gateway is only going to be open as long as there is mana inside of these pools, so you're going to want to keep them filled up, but they have to be filled in order to activate. So these ones are obviously creative, so I'm going to activate this, and it's going to be constantly going onwards. Now you will get an achievement when you actually activate this, and one of the first things you want to do is actually take your Lexa Botania and throw it into here. This is going to give you a little gold outline. This is going to give you a couple of more unlocks inside of the book, and you're going to be able to learn a couple of different things. One of them being, if you go to the Alphemancy area, this is where pretty much everything to do with this portal is. You'll be able to get some lore here. You'll see we've got these brand new pages here if you want to know a little bit about the lore when it comes to this mod, but also it's going to give you some other things in here, such as the resources of Alfheim. So the way this portal works, it's not another dimension like other mods would think. This is actually a way of transforming some items from our world into the Alfheim Elven version of things. Now in order to actually transfer items into here, a little bit of mana is going to be used out of your pools, so make sure you have these full manas, of course, and everything you want on you in order to transfer things over. Now, there are up to 6 different things that you can get from the Elven Realm or Alfheim, and these are them here. Starting from left to right, we've got Living Wood. If we throw one of these in here, we'll come out and we'll get some Dream Wood. Next, you will be able to get a brand new ingot. We've had Terrasteel. We've got the upgrade from that is that Elementium ingots. Now, you are going to actually need 2 of these ingots in order to get 1 Elementium ingot here. So we just place one in there and a second, and we'll get out our Elementium ingot here. Next, we've got our Mana Pearl. This is going to turn everything into pixie dust. Now, sometimes, as you saw right there, you won't actually see the item pop back out, but it has done. It's just a visual bug. If you just push yourself against it, you'll get it back. Following from that, we've got the Mana Diamond. This is going to give you a Dragon Scale, or Dragon Stone, sorry. Then, the last 2 are a little bit different. One is Nether Quartz. This isn't obviously from the overworld, it's from the Nether. And this is going to give you Elven Quartz, which is pretty cool. Now, the last thing is if you take Mana Glass, you'll be able to get Alf Glass, which is just a next tier of glass. Now, something else you can do is just, it says in the same chapter, if you take your Dreamwood, putting 2 Dreamwood together will give you a Dreamwood twig. Now, for today, we're not going to be covering everything that you can do with these items, but if you want to explore the book, then obviously you can, but this is going to be the next stage into progressing into the mod, and there isn't going to be too much left to do, as the next big part in progression for this mod is actually going to be defeating the main boss, and that is by doing the Ritual of Gaia. But for now, guys, that is going to be everything when it comes to this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If this video did help you out in any way, shape or form, please do not forget to leave a like and subscribe. And if you would like to see exactly how we make other things like other types of rods, then click the video on screen now. That's going to be a lot more interesting things that you can do before actually getting to this point. But until next time, guys, take care.